All right, guys, it's time to check out this very thin watch that has been sitting over on the right-hand side on some of the videos I was making, and it drew a lot of attention. A lot of people asked about this actual watch. So big thanks to Neil for sending this over. He sent over quite a few watches, actually, and this was one of them, and I'm digging it. Well, we're gonna cover the watch real quick, and then I want to cover a story and my thoughts on Swatch. So first off, this is called the Swatch 42 Skin Irony. This is the Skin Navy. I maybe butchered that name. It comes in this sleeve here, but it's in this hard plastic packaging. Pretty standard packaging for Swatch. If you want to pause it, you can probably get that. Or, I'll probably put a link in the description to Swatch directly to their site, because I think that's how typically you would buy a Swatch, or another way, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So it is a 42 millimeter case, and it is a very cool case. This is a stainless steel one, and I just love the case shape on it. So 42, just over 45 lug to lug. It's like 45.3. You do have drilled lugs there, but I mean, it's proprietary, lug system here. They do have this model in a stainless steel bracelet as well, and they have a bunch of different colorways. Most of them are on straps, but this actual exact one, they call this the Skin Navy. I think they have the Skin Navy Diver or something like that. It has the stainless steel band on it, so that would be pretty cool to check out too. Now the thinness on this is only 6.1 millimeter. On the website it actually says like 6.7. I just measured it. It's like 6.1. It is crazy thin. And then, I mean, if you want to take this measurement, it's like 22.5 millimeter essentially. And then this little baby crown here is just over 4 millimeter. Non-screw down. It's only, water resistance is laughable, right? It's like 3 Atmos or something like that. So if you look at the case back here, you have an easy change battery. It even tells you what battery to get. And I think I remember somebody saying that if you take your Swatch into a Swatch boutique, they'll either change the battery for free or cheap or something. I can't remember what somebody said, but it does say water resistant, and when they don't tell you how much water resistance there is, then don't get it too wet. I'm not sure what that V8 means there. I doubt they stuffed a V8 in here, but you can see there it's labeled ETA, so it is, Swatch Group owns ETA or ETA, so it is a ETA quartz movement in here. And whatever, it's a pretty cool case back. It's a pretty cool case altogether, because it's all like one piece except for the little pocket there for the battery, and it's super easy to open up. I'm sure this is like some sort of mineral crystal. There's no way it's sapphire. And you can see on the bottom there briefly, what does it say? Swatch 2018. This was a 2019 winter release if you look on their website, and they did actually put a little bit of lume in the very small real estate of the hour and minute hand. I'll try to get you a lume shot. The lume sucks. It's not great. They didn't lume out the Arabics or anything like that. They're pretty basic watches, and they're so thin you can't have a seconds hand on there. So it's definitely a fashion watch. It's a fun watch, and that's what it's intended to be, and that's what it actually is. It's something that I personally don't have a Swatch in my collection, but I could see having one. This one weighs in at 53 grams, and the retail price on the website is $170. Now in the boutiques, so typically when I go on vacation somewhere and we go shopping or something like that, if the family goes shopping, a lot of times we're in a bigger town, so sometimes the mall or something will maybe have a Swatch store. So that's typically my exposure to it. And I think that's a great place to buy like a vacation watch. I think a lot of times people focus on a larger purchase for a vacation watch. It doesn't have to be that way. You can buy, something 200 or less, and in the boutiques they'll have a clearance section too. You can buy something more fun, whether it be for you or your wife or your daughter or your son or whoever. You could dial it down a little bit. You're not going to go buy probably a G-Shock or a Timex or something like that, but a Swatch at a Swatch boutique when you're on vacation, I think is also very cool and very special. And then that actually brings me back to another story. a while ago, my son and a buddy of mine, I might be mixing up the trips, but essentially we all were at a big car event. It was Grid Life or something. And it was like just raining and it was miserable. So we're like, you know what? We're not that far from Chicago. Let's blast over to Chicago. And at the time, Chicago had a Swatch store downtown Chicago on Michigan Ave. And, you know, so they had all of the Swatch brands. They had some crazy baller ones, and they were super nice sales people in there. And they also had a bunch of Swatch. So, and this was before we were like really into watches, right? So, you still got to go see all these really cool watches. I don't know if those stores still exist like that. That was a really cool store. But then you can still buy a watch like on a whim. You can just go spend a couple $100 and walk out and feeling like, you know, pretty good, I think. So I don't know, just a silly story. And it's funny that I'm actually wearing an Omega because Swatch, it's from the same company. So let me pop this guy on wrist so you can see what it looks like on my 7.25 inch wrist. I gotta try to wear it a little bit looser. The last time I put it on, I felt like it just looked like it was hugging my wrist too much. So I strapped it on a little bit looser there, and it's actually more comfortable. I think I like it that way. And it's not gonna rotate on you because it's got a nice rubber strap. So there it is on my wrist. Because it's crazy thin, you can still wear a 42 mil. They have some 38s. That, you know, Swatch is chocked full of like crazy cool designs, and you can customize, you can do all kinds of stuff. Heck, I got one of those really big, like 7-foot tall Swatch clocks hanging up behind me in my room. Once I get this room completely done, I'll show that to you. But they're so cool. They're so iconic. I mean, I remember even as a young teenager, I wore a Swatch. It was just cool, and I think a lot of you guys did too, and maybe you still do. So anyway, it was fun to share that one with you. It's a little bit nicer feeling Swatch versus the plastic ones. I like the stainless steel case. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next vid. Thanks for, oh no, I was going to show you Lume. So yeah, there's a little bit there, but I mean, come on. We don't buy Swatches for Lume.